we talked about. I'm not gonna stop you. At the end of the day, it is fun. I had fun with the last video. You can only learn if you make mistakes. Our savior. Nice. It's a pretty simple little board here. It just adapts an SD card to 40-pin ZIF. How expensive could it be? Well, most people reach for when they're looking for a cheap iFlash substitute. But I'm sure you guys have run into another. Right now, we're going to install this and restore it. Okay, jump cut. I had decided it is best for us not to use this one. It would only be respectful to the Hyundai adapter. Best of the best to use the matching Hyundai micro SD card. iTunes sees it, restore, gamer fuel, iPod fuel. Alexa, you're just not happy. Quick, leave a comment below what kind of iPod you use right now. Man, it's only my second video I'm doing that already. All right, it's done. Went through without a hitch. This is not the star of today's show. Let me show it to you. Remember when I said, but I'm sure you guys have run into another iFlash substitute. That's what we're talking about today. This monstrosity. Here she is. Holy. At first glance, you might think it is comparable to an iFlash. It is ZIF after all. Fits in an iPod. Same size, it'll fit in there just fine. The price for these is... So these are much cheaper than an iFlash, especially today. The shortage driving prices up pretty significantly. iFlashes are still pretty easy to find. A lot of you were upset with how I removed the battery, just yanking it from the motherboard. We're gonna do it the proper way. Lift up your little brown latch there, and the battery pops out. That's the proper way. All too often, I've seen countless people online end up right off the board when they perform such a maneuver. That's the proper way. You are using metal on plastic after all. You could use a black stick or a spudger. It remains, it's much easier to tear this off the board, pulling it up, tugging on it, versus removing the battery in a swift and fast motion. Latch did not go anywhere, because when you pull it out, all it tugs on is this, not this. You don't want to tug on that. That's how you break it. So our card here already has the operating system on it. Theoretically, throw this in to the adapter, ZIF connector. The proper orientation of this, like such, not like such. We insert it, clasp it down all the way. It's all the way down, all the way secured, and all the way in. Pop in that battery, already has the operating system on it. Theoretically, it should just turn on, take us into the operating system. That's not the operating system. Let's try it. Popped up on iTunes. You guys can't see my screen. Clicking restore, come on. Okay, so we got 1416, which is an IO error. Try it again. And same thing. And I can guarantee it's gonna give an IO error. Yes, this is the same Hyundai, the automotive Hyundai. I saw these on Amazon. I was very confused, we'll put it like that. They actually make micro SD cards, SSDs, they make tablets, phones, but it's just a meme. Put it back into the iFlash. Hyundai in place, and it works fine. So do you guys like more informational videos? Would you like it to be a bit more comedic and conversational? Or are you trying to get educated here? So as you can see, the model number comes up as @ space @ with a total size of 361 gigabytes. The current temperature 512 degrees Celsius. Absolutely not true. Well, what's the deal with these? There's something very important in the fine detail. This one's for the haters. It definitely looks the part, that's for sure. Here's an AliExpress one for $10.90 USD. Notice anything covered up? Here's one for 1615 USD. This chip right here, that is the memory controller manufactured in 2005. What's the problem with that? Why did we use the 256 Hyundai? This memory controller only supports SD. Yeah, SD cards. Of course it does. This is SDXC, not SD, thus rendering the memory controller unable to do anything with that card. Now, if you look on the listings, it clearly says down at the bottom, does not support SD UHS 1 cards. I think it's UHS 3, not just UHS 1, UHS 1 onwards. This is a 2005 era chip, and you're going to have to use a 2005 era SD card, capping out at about 32 gigabytes. You can just buy a 30 gigabyte hard drive for. When I first got into modifying iPods, I bought one of these. It was a very humbling experience, that's for sure. Do not buy that thing, ever. Hot garbage everywhere. Hot iPod garbage everywhere. This thing was like 20 bucks too.